Queen Step, baby, the one and only. The heavy hitter, heart strong, mouth slick, vibe heavy. Love, lean, laugh, but don't play with a thug. Queen Step, stepping pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Queen Step, stepping pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Pray for peace, but she ready for the smoke. Say what she mean, don't care who broke. Put respect on her name, no cap, no flex. She done leveled through pain, now she cashing them checks. Go! She divide the energy that's on the car. Talk slick, better pray with your mom. Step ain't for the weak, she a boss in the field, got grace and grit, but she keep it too real, don't need no crew, she can stand on her name. Queen Step is only heavy hitter in the game. Queen Step, stepping pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. Queen Step, stepping pressure when she walk. If it ain't real, she don't even wanna talk. Love deep, laugh loud, but she built from the grind. Cut different, ain't another in a kind. It's Queen Step, better speak with respect. Love, give, lie, and demand that check.
Quadasia Holly Johnson went to court today and appeared in court and entered a not guilty plea. Court will continue tomorrow, January the 8th of 2026. Let's talk about some key points for a minute. Now, just know that a not guilty plea is normal. Even if the evidence seems strong, it protects the defendant, as Holly, rights and forces the state to prove every element beyond a reasonable doubt. This case is moving into the pretrial phase. Now, I'm just going to give some highlights on the step-by-step breakdown of what happens after a not guilty plea in a murder case. So after Holly has entered in her not guilty plea, this does not mean innocence is proven. It means the defendant is forcing the state to prove the case. Now, the case will start to be set for a status hearing. But as I have learned, shout out to Upper Echelon on YouTube, she went to court today, and it's just being stated that court will continue tomorrow. The current judge that's on this case is Judge Clancy, that was turned over from the first judge, Costello, and the second judge was Judge Doss. But Judge Clancy has to have a chance to review all evidence and motions and all that stuff. So it was continued until tomorrow on January the 8th. So during a pretrial status hearing, this is usually where the judge schedules future court dates. Attorneys report on progress like the discovery, the motions, the readiness, and sometimes the bond or detention issues might be revisited. Far as the discovery, that's more of an evidence exchange. Prosecution must turn over evidence to the defense, including police reports, witness statements, body cams, surveillance videos, forensics and autopsy reports, phone records, lab results. And as I've learned from Upper Echelon that went to court today, she stated that the judge requested that the prosecution turn over all of that evidence to the defendant's lawyer, Ari Williams, by May of 2026. And once that turned over, the defense, Ari Williams, this is her time to review for weaknesses, inconsistencies, or rights of violations. Now, as we all know, one of the motions that Ari Williams have submitted on Holly's behalf for rights violation, it was the HIPAA, due to, it being public, the fact that Holly was pregnant. But Holly let the officers know when she got arrested that she was pregnant. So I don't know if that's going to get by or not. Now, let me throw this in here. Now, the defendant, Quadasia, she was charged by complaint, which the state obtained a true bill, which is an indictment from a grand jury. And with her not guilty plea, this is where the case formally proceeds toward trial. Now, a pretrial motion is a critical stage. This is where the defense files legal challenges such as motions to support the evidence, motions to suppress statements, motions to dismiss, or motions to limit witness testimony. The judge rules on these evidence can be excluded if rights were violated. Now, once this case is set for status hearings, which are check-ins with the judge, which is there's no witnesses to testify, no verdicts are made, lawyers update the court on discovery progress, motions, and all of that. And it was stated in court today that Holly must attend all court hearings. Now, when the status hearings are set by the judge, in which we hope that will be starting tomorrow on January the 8th, the case after there has been a enter of not guilty, another step is where there's a plea negotiation, which is optional and is not required. This is where the prosecutor may offer a plea and the defendant can accept, reject, or counter offer. Many murder cases, defendants still go to trial. Now, after plea negotiations, the case then will go into a trial scheduling. That's, if no plea is reached, the judge sets a jury trial date, which is most common, or a bench trial where the judge decides no jury. Jury selection happens first. So during the jury selection, this is where the attorneys question jurors, and jurors with bias are then removed. And from there, we all know once a trial is set, if it goes to trial, the trial begins, where there's opening statements, prosecution witnesses and evidence, defense cross-examination, defense case, which can be optional, closing arguments, jury deliberation, and the verdict. But like I've stated, an important truth, a not guilty plea is standard, even in serious murder cases. It buys time, protects rights, and allows the defense to attack the state's case. So for a heads up on possible outcomes, on a not guilty, the defendant is acquitted and released. On a guilty, the case moves to sentencing. Or on a hung jury, which is a mistrial where the state may retry the case. But I bet you a lot is hoping that it don't even go that route, right? Or those possible outcomes, because we, the supporters of Romeca, is definitely looking for a verdict of first-degree murder with no possibility of parole, a life sentence, right? Last but not least, let me give a clear, respectful breakdown of what families should expect and know after a not guilty plea in a murder case. Families do not control the case. The case is State of Illinois versus the defendant Quadasia Holly Johnson. The prosecutors decide charges, evidence, plea offers, and families cannot drop charges or force outcomes. Court process could be slow sometimes and emotional. Months may pass with no visible progress. Status hearings can feel pointless, but they matter. Delays are coming and not a sign the case is weak. Now, what families are allowed to do is to attend court hearings, speak with the prosecutor or victim witness advocates. They can submit impact statements like sentencing only. They can ask questions about the procedure, and they can receive notice of major court dates. Now, what families are not allowed to do is to speak to jurors, contact witnesses, post threats or accusations online, share sealed evidence or witness identities, or dispute court proceedings. These actions can harm the case or cause charges. Now, when it comes to public statements and social media, this is very important. that families should be careful. Public posts can be used by the defense. Avoid naming witnesses, claiming guilt as fact, sharing inside information, and encouraging retaliation. The best practice is to speak in terms of grief, remembrance, justice, not guilt. Now, in Cook County, there's victim witness advocates, where families are usually assigned an advocate who explains court steps, relays family concerns to prosecutors, helps with court notifications, counseling referrals, and crime victim compensation. Now, during the trial, families may sit in the courtroom, observe the testimony, leave if emotionally overwhelmed, but families may not react loudly, communicate with jurors, and coach witnesses. Now, during the sentencing stage, if guilty, this is where the family's voices matter, where victims' impact statements aloud can be written or spoken, or the judge considers harm caused. Now, if there is not a guilty verdict, in which we hope that's not the case, cases end immediately and defendants are then released. Families may feel blindsided. This does not mean the loss was invalid or that civil options may still exist. Emotional reality, unspoken truth. A not guilty plea is not disrespect, they say, but the defense strategies is legal and not personal. Just know that justice does not always equal conviction, but a important reminder: families seeking justice should protect the case. Silence online can be more powerful than speaking. Subscribe to me on YouTube at Queen of Truth Podcast. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you have not subscribed to the channel already. You all are greatly appreciated. Thanks for watching.